Hello Internet, I'm me, and this is Kamen Rider Wizard, episode 23. Now, I'm not doing that new formatty thingy that you saw in my Zuden Sentai Q I don't know why I want to keep calling it Q Danger. It just seems so much easier. It's like that name, that word, that Q Danger is literally taunting you to say Q Danger. But anyway. Unlike Zuden Sentai, which I'm just going to call it that, I'm not going to be putting in clips and such because that was for a new season. I might do this around episode 25 or whenever Kamen Rider Wizard gets his infinite form. I'll probably do that. It'll be a good way of introducing it. But so yeah, this is still the whole vlog format of me just talking in front of a camera. Anywho, this is Kamen Rider Wizard, episode 23. Last time we left our Kamen Rider, he was actually battling the Phoenix Phantom who was kicking his ass. Well, kinda. He got strong enough to start kicking his ass. And was being taken down by the Phoenix Phantom who had just grown some really awesome fire wings. But, as Kamen Rider Wizard was about to be finished, out of nowhere, Kamen Rider Beast comes in with a buffalo sleeve and tackles in and tries to actually eat the Phoenix Phantom, mostly because he's immortal. So if he eats the Phoenix Phantom's mana, not only does it kill him, it gives Kamen Rider Beast a huge amount of mana to go off of, and that would probably satisfy the Chinma for a good long time. So that's logical. And he followed Haruto after he saw him on his bike riding around. So cool. And so, as Kamen Rider Beast is battling the Phoenix Phantom, Haruto goes over to the police officer, who, yes, I keep forgetting her name. I don't care. Sorry. And turns into the Wind Dragon and flies off. Honestly, okay, if I was doing a clip show, I would say, and the funniest part of this episode happens right here. And there's a part where Kamen Rider Beast tries to do his special attack, which is a gamble, and he rolls a 1. He rolls a 1 with the chameleon, and it's just this little tiny cute chameleon trying to like hit the hit the Phoenix Phantom, and it's just kind of like no, but it's so adorable, and it gets kicked, and I'm like, damn, that was kind of cold, but. And then Kamen Rider Beast gets his ass kicked too. Off screen, of course. And of course, the Sora, I still want to call him the Gremlin Phantom, because I know he's the Gremlin Phantom. They reveal it at the end of this episode, but fuck it, he's the Gremlin Phantom. Is still sitting outside the building and is like, huh, Kamen Rider Beast. Oh, well, this is still fun. And I'm like, I don't even know his game. I don't know his plan or anything. He's just a gremlin. And gremlins like fucking things up, so that might be his plan. So, after that, Haruto goes off to the hospital and puts the officer in the hospital in where she is in no condition to die, but she is a bit banged up. So Haruto actually sits outside the hospital room and waits on her to get better. Haruto actually is starting to blame himself a bit because he's supposed to be protecting the officer from phantoms and people in general from phantoms, and he didn't do his job, and somebody got hurt. Here to drive this point home is the asshole officer, from the head officer from the precinct to come in and pretty much drop some more guilt on Haruto's lap for not being there and not protecting her. But I do have a huge problem with this, but it does kind of get addressed, so I'll come back to it later. Later, Kamen Rider Beast is over at the antique shop where everyone else is, and pretty much dicking around with everyone else and talking to them about the Phantom, Phoenix Phantom, going, man, I really wanted to eat him. It's like, oh, Kamen Rider Beast. Anywho, Then, Phoenix Phantom, out of the rage of just wanting to fight Kamen Rider Wizard in general, starts destroying the city. And, in response to that, this is actually pretty cool. I didn't realize this until now. It turns out that Kayomi didn't know that Kamen Rider Beast had familiars. And Kamen Rider Beast didn't know Kayomi and Haruto had familiars. So they're sitting on the couch, and their familiars, like the little griffin and I think it's the phoenix, both are looking at the destruction, and then they kind of look at each other, and they see each other in the crystal ball in the mirror, like, huh, you have familiars. And I thought that was kind of clever. Um, then, of course, Kamen Rider Beast says, we're not going to go get Haruto. He needs to stay with the officer at the hospital to make sure she's safe. Mostly because he wants Haruto there so that he can try to eat the Phoenix Phantom. And anyway, Kamen Rider Beast goes out to the city and tries to fight the Phoenix Phantom, who pretty much just sticks some henchmen on him and says, I don't want to fight you. I want the other wizard. And tell Kamen Rider Wizard to come back to the place where we first fought, and by tomorrow, or the city will burn. And he disappears, and Kamen Rider Beast eats all the henchmen, because they're henchmen. They're not doing anything. So, Kamen Rider Beast comes back to the antique shop to give the news to the rest of the team, but not Haruto, because Haruto is still at the hospital, in which he is actually talking to the officer about the situation. But then the officer reveals to Haruto that, well, it was all her fault. She pulled a pretty stupid move and ran into the Phoenix Phantom while doing an investigation, but didn't bother to call him. And that's where my big initial problem is. Haruto gets a lot of guilt about her being hurt, but I'm like, dude, you know you didn't do anything wrong. She's a she's a trained officer. If she didn't know to call in backup, especially against a phantom, then it's her own damn fault. Sorry to be a bit cold. But Haruto does latch on to the part where the officer tells Haruto that the Phoenix Phantom actually did remind her of herself. You know what? The Phoenix Phantom reminded the officer of herself. Done. And so she took pity and sympathy on him and actually tried to talk him down and see reason within him. And Haruto realizes that the Phoenix Phantom pretty much took the officer's compassion and smashed it on the ground. So pretty much Haruto's saying, oh hell no, it's personal this time. Though he doesn't know about the message yet. So he goes back to the antique store, but Kamen Rider Beast and everyone else is actually trying to keep the news and the Phoenix's message from Haruto completely, which is kind of stupid. Thankfully, the episode corrects that by having Kayomi later on just straight up tell him the message and say, yo, get back out there and fight. You are our last hope, so kick his ass. So, Kamen Rider Wizard comes in creepily on Kamen Rider Beast, who's waking up on his luxury roof. I still can't get that. Like, you save a man's life and he gives you the roof. But Kamen Rider Beast wakes up, gets ready, pretty much announcing that he's ready to fight the Phoenix Phantom, and Haruto says, butt out, this one's mine. And Haruto pretty much just says, I'm the last hope on this one, and this is personal now. And the Kamen Rider Beast wisely says, okay, I'm out. But you do know, if you don't consume his mana, you can't kill him. And Haruto's like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know. So, Haruto faces off with the Phoenix Phantom at sunrise, which is a really cool cinematic piece, but a little heavy-handed with the symbolism, huh? Anywho, Haruto meets the Phoenix Phantom over in the very first place that they fought, which is way back when. Which feels like way back when, really. And when the Phoenix Phantom and Kamen Rider Wizard meet, they have a really kick-ass standoff. And they actually start fighting each other. And, of course, Haruto has the dragon timer this time. But he still gets his ass kicked once he does, like, the 4 dragons. But he pulls off something I didn't know he could do. He combines all dragons into one, and then starts really kicking the Phantom's ass. And the white mage is off somewhere, like to the side, going, "Good, this one is complete. Mystery. Who knows?" And so Haruto, being full dragon, literally like extinguishes the Phoenix Phantom's wings, which are made of fire, of course. He extinguishes them and holds them in the air and says, and the Phoenix Phantom's like, "Cool. You do know once you kill me, though, I'll become stronger and I'll probably be able to take on this form, this new form you have." And he goes, "Oh, I'm not gonna kill you, but your immortality has a price." And you're like, "What? Immortality has a price?" Hmm. So Kamen Rider Wizard breaks the Phoenix Phantom's wings, throws him up, lands, pulls a fucking four-dragon Kamen Rider kick, and boots the motherfucker into a sun! Into the sun! To where Kamen Rider Wizard's like, "Dude, you're a human, so you're like a speck to the sun. Like, like this half-eaten apple, which I've been munching on, and this is you. This is the sun. Like, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna burn, die, and burn again, and relive every single time. And if you follow physics, I know Kamen Rider and physics don't mix, but if you follow physics, he will never, ever be more, he will never become powerful enough to escape the gravitational pull of the sun. He may be able to survive in the sun, but he can't get out." So, and it will take him a while to get used to the sun, as is. So Haruto said, literally ends the fight saying, "There is no finale for you. I'm kicking you in the sun. I'm making you die and come back repeatedly, almost forever, if you think about it. So, like, if not 100 years, like, just keep dying and coming back until you get as powerful as the sun, and then you just sit there because you can't get past the gravitational pull." So, that is cold. That was fucking cold. And of course, we end it with Haruto talking to the officer, and they they promise each other to be each other's hope. And the Gremlin Phantom comes up to Medusa and goes, "You need a new partner? Your other partner seems to be stuck in the goddamn sun. You might need my help." And Medusa's like, "Yeah, whatever, alright." This episode was full of awesome. Well, okay, mostly full of awesome. In the middle, it kind of drags in the pacing, but from the beginning to the end, oh damn. So I gotta give this an 8.5 out of 10, if not a 9 out of 10. This was a really cool episode, and though some plot points are kind of like, why would they do that, or it's really slow, or some of the dialogue's just kind of eh. Um, this episode was actually a really good episode, and I really actually liked it. And I'm sorry, I was traveling to Atlanta when I was watching this on my freaking iPad, and I literally said, just like with my family in the car, just kind of went, "He kicked him into the sun!" I'm sorry, that's fucking awesome. What if you could boot a motherfucker into the sun? I bet you'd do it. Damn, you think Kamen Rider Wizard is not as powerful as another Kamen Rider? He can kick people into the sun. That's fucking power right there. But I digress. Anyway, until next time, y'all. Peace.